Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, I post videos all about beauty, luxury, lifestyle. So if you're into that kind of content, then definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And in today's video, I'm going to be testing out a bunch of new products that I picked up for during the Sephora VIB sale. I have a video hauling all of these products, so I'll go ahead and link that below in case you missed it. But without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Alright, so we're going to just jump right in. I'm going to be showing you all of the new products I picked up in my latest Sephora haul. I am super excited to be trying out these products because it has been so long since I've even really tried out any new makeup. So the first thing we're going to go in with is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This was a recommendation from Jessica Braun, and this packaging is really pretty. It's like a nice frosted glass bottle. So I'm just going to shake it up. And I believe this is supposed to just give you like a nice glow. Yeah, it says, more than just a primer, it's the secret behind the iconic Becca glow, infused with 3 unique filtering luminescent pearls. So this is nothing new to the market, but it's new to me, so I'm very excited to be trying it. So this is what it looks like, if I can show you. And I'm just going to go ahead and rub this in. It has kind of a, it almost smells like, not crayon, but kind of like a crayon, like that kind of scent. So I'm just rubbing this in all over the face. Wow, on camera you can totally see the glow. Like in person, I'm looking in my mirror. I mean, I do see somewhat of a glow, but on camera you can really see the glowiness. So it doesn't feel weird or anything. It's set into the skin nicely. I am also going to go ahead and dabble on just a little bit of my Tatcha Silk Canvas right in the like pore zone, just for like the pore filling, because I don't think this backlight primer is meant to fill in pores or anything. So let me just go ahead and rub some of that. I usually also bring this primer under my eyes a little bit, just because, you know, any fine lines, this might help to fill it in. So now we'll jump into concealer really quick. I don't have a new concealer. This is my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer, so I'm just going to try to speed through this part of it since it's nothing new. Okay, so all my concealer is on. One thing I do want to say is that I'm very curious as to how I'm going to feel about all these products, because normally for my primer, I always go in with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which is more hydrating. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go as far as like how I like how everything is setting on the skin. Of course, since this is like a first impressions and I'm using so many new products, it's going to be hard to know. Like if I end up thinking something doesn't look right, it's going to be hard to know exactly what's causing it. I would have to, you know, try them over some time. So I will definitely be doing like a Sephora haul follow-up just to kind of give you like more in-depth thoughts on these products after I get to use them for a while. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that down the road. I usually like to try out the products for a little while before I give any kind of opinion on them. So stay tuned. Next, we have the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now, if you watched my Sephora haul part 2, I explained that this is technically a repurchase. However, when I first purchased it years ago, it was when I was first really seriously getting into doing makeup similar to what you see on YouTube. And at that time, I really didn't have any like great techniques. You know, I've changed so much over the years and I've learned a lot. So I wanted to try this again because I didn't like it back then, but now I feel like this type of foundation is honestly exactly like what I would like. It's luminous, it's light. I feel like that's exactly what I usually go for. So I'll be curious to see how I feel about this now that I've changed techniques. Now I do want to say that I'm not going to like judge this too harshly right away because I do want to try it with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base and see how I like it with that, since that is my like ride or die primer. That's what I always use. Maybe I should have done like half the face with the Becca and half with that, but it's okay. This video is all about trying new products. So anyway, I have the shade 2. Based on the online descriptions and the way they looked, this seemed to be like my best shade match. So I'm just going to pump. Maybe. Oh, it would help if I took the cap off. It is very, very liquidy. Like, look at that. It's just dripping. But that's a good sign because that means it's not going to be very heavy or very thick. So I'm just going to dip my beauty blender into it and start dabbing this on the face. I thought I smelled like a little fragrance to it, but I don't really know. I always go in very light-handed with foundation. Like, I might not even use all of this just because, you know, it's on my skin. I feel like it's so easy for my foundations to look cakey so fast. Like, I barely have to put any product on for it to start looking cakey. So I'm just going in very gradually at first. Okay, so I still have some on the back of my hand. I want to take my mirror and look up close because I can't really see that well, you know, how it's looking from the distance that I'm looking at it at, but honestly, it feels very, very lightweight. Like, I know I didn't put that much on. I mean, I did use a decent amount of what was on my hand. I did about like 2.5 pumps. So I definitely did use it, but it honestly, my skin looks like skin. It just looks a little bit better. Let me try to give you as close and personal as we can get here. I feel like my skin tone just looks nicely evened out, and you can see like my forehead, it doesn't look too bad there. I feel like, but of course, like you can still see some imperfections. I did conceal those up a bit in the beginning, but the thing is about me with makeup is that it's okay if you can see some of my imperfections because I feel like my makeup looks more natural that way. I don't like to cake on the product to try to cover every single blemish and mark because then the makeup ends up not really looking that great in my opinion. From my experience in doing my own makeup, that's how I feel. So I think I'll take a little bit that's on my hand, like just the tiniest little bit, and maybe add a little bit more like in the cheek area. And one other technique that I've really learned that has helped me a lot is when you're first dabbing on foundation, don't start in the center of your face. To me, that just doesn't look right, like because you're putting so much product in the center of the face, so it ends up looking cakier, I feel like. And you know, you have more pores here, so I don't know. I found that if I start out and then as I have product off of the sponge and blend it out and I go in, then in the middle of my face, it's not so heavy and I feel like my pores don't look as like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you know how sometimes when you have too much makeup, like your pores doesn't look that great. So I always start at the cheek, like on the outer part, because I've never really had my makeup look too cakey over here. And I just go, like I said, I go in as I am getting product off the sponge. So I feel like that helps it to look so much more natural and just not cakey at all. That is a tip that I have really found works for me. So again, I'm just gonna look at my face up close. Yeah, honestly, I feel like it looks really nice. I mean, and I feel like my skin does still have a nice little bit of a glow to it. Now, I don't know how much of a glow my face really has compared to if I didn't use this. You know, maybe I needed to use more. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just hard to tell when I'm not comparing it to anything. So maybe I'll have to try it like half the face with this and half with something else just to see like if it really makes a difference. But so far, I'm pretty happy with how the skin looks. Again, let me just try to show you up close. Let me maybe try to turn the lighting down a little bit to see if that can help you see it more naturally. There you go. Alright, so like I said, I'm so far pretty okay with how this is looking. It doesn't look too heavy or anything, so I'm happy about that. It doesn't feel heavy either. I don't really feel like I'm really wearing makeup. And if you're the type of person that doesn't like to set your makeup, I feel like it does have a little bit of a tackiness to it, but I think over time it will probably set and you might not have to set it. I'm the type that I need to set it. I have to do at least a little bit of powder, but you probably could get away with not setting this. So before we go ahead and set the skin, I do have a couple cream products that I want to use. The first, we're going to go in with the Nudestix Bondi Bay. Now, I have never used a cream contour, so I will be curious to see how this goes, if I can get the tin open. So I know that this is the cream side, and then on the other side, there is a nice little brush. I don't think I'm going to use that, but it's nice because if you're traveling, then you have it all like right here. So I'm just going to twist this up a little bit. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand just to see. Okay. Alright, I'm scared on whether I should like go right onto the face or if I should put some on the brush. I don't know. Okay. I think what I'll do first is do it like this and blend it out, and then I can always add in with a brush. I feel like on camera it's pulling orangier than it looks in person. I just put some directly onto the sponge to go around the perimeter of my forehead. I mean, I don't think it looks bad. I feel like it is pulling a little bit darker on camera than it is like in person. I feel like in person it looks very natural. So, let me see here. I'm taking this like concealer brush. I think that's what this is. It's the JH08 from Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. I'm just adding a little bit to my forehead area. I mean, it blends out really, really easily, I feel. So here's what it's looking like. I mean, it really took no effort at all. I feel like I think it looks pretty good. All right. Cream bronzer is so far a win. Like I said, I think it is pulling a little bit darker on camera than it is in person, but so far so good. And then I also have the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Spotlight. So this is what it looks like. Now, this does have like a little sponge applicator. Okay, so it's on. Oh, well, yeah. When you turn it on, you like squeeze a little bit, it definitely comes to the surface. So I'm just gonna dab this along the cheekbones. We'll start there. This is also my first time using a cream highlighter. I don't know if you can see like the little dots, but I think I'm just gonna blend it out with my finger. I definitely see some glow. It's nothing like super bam in your face, but it's okay. Can you guys see it? I feel like maybe you can see it on that side. Like, as you can see, it's nothing like stark and whoa in your face, so that's good. I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger, go along the nose. I feel like you can see that a little bit better because it's straight on. All right, so I feel like that looks pretty nice. It honestly looks, oh, make sure you turn it off. I was reading reviews. People were saying that this turns into a mess if you forget to like twist it off. So keep that in mind. So I feel like that looks very nice, like naturally glowy. It's nothing like super stark, which is nice. So far so good. I'm really liking using the cream products, honestly. So I'm almost debating about this. So the next thing I have is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is the powder foundation, but I'm thinking to do something a little bit different here, so give me 1 second. So I think in the area where I do have the cream, I'm gonna just go in with a translucent powder to set it down, just because I feel like if I use a powder foundation, that's gonna take away some of the effect. So I'm just like super lightly gonna just dust a little bit of translucent powder over those areas. This is the Too Faced Born This Way one. I don't really use translucent powders anymore. Just gonna very lightly tap over that, so that way it still has some of the effect, and then I'll go in with the Makeup Forever on the rest of the skin. Okay, so I feel like you can still see the glow, everything is still there, but at least it's now set down. And then the rest of the face, we will go in with the Makeup Forever. I'm really excited about this. I hope that I like it because it was a lot cheaper than the Giorgio Armani one, so we shall see. So it definitely picks up on the brush. Okay, so here's what we're looking like. It is maybe looking just a tiny bit like dry, a little bit in the corner of my under eyes, but that's also, keep in mind, I did not use my I didn't use my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which adds a lot of hydration, so that could definitely be part of it. So I'm not ruling this out yet. Plus, this is a powder foundation, and I'm already wearing a foundation, so I know that seems kind of overkill, but I do like using powder foundations versus just using translucent powders. So, you know, so far I don't think the skin looks bad. Looks very evened out, and honestly my under eyes don't look too bad either, and once I spray like some setting spray, it might kind of like melt together. So yeah, so far I'm happy with how everything is looking. Now, really quick before we jump to the eyes, I'll go ahead and do my brows. Now, I'm a little bit nervous about this because I don't do brows that often, but this is the Rare Beauty Brow Pencil and Gel, and it is like an angled, thicker pencil. I normally use powder for my brows, so I'm just going to very lightly try to fill in the brows. I want you guys to be able to see me, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing. One thing I could see being a con about this product having the brow gel in it is that you do not get a spoolie. Now, a lot of brow pencils come with a spoolie on the other end, so keep that in mind. I have other brushes that have spoolies, so I'm not that concerned about it, but I know, you know, some people might find that to be a bit of a con, so that's why I'm mentioning it. I'm just gonna brush through what I put in there. I went very lightly, but can we tell a difference? I feel like this brow does look a little bit more filled in, so I don't really go too heavy with my brows. Honestly, a lot of times I just leave them as they are, or I'll fill in with like a tiny bit of powder, like I'll just use an eyeshadow, but I do feel like that does make a little bit of a difference in comparison, so I feel like the brows look pretty good, honestly. I literally just had to use like the lightest hand. I feel like so far so good with this. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brow gel, and it is tinted. I know some people were also complaining about that in the reviews, so we shall see how this looks. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'll just go in very lightly. Okay, one done. Two done. All right, I don't feel like that looks too bad. I just feel like with this type of product or any, a lot of times anything with makeup, just go in light and you can always build it. But I feel like the brows look pretty nice, so yay, this is a win so far. So far, I don't have anything negative to say about any of these products, so that is a good sign. But we will now go ahead and jump into the eyes. Now, lately I have been so loving this Tartelette in Bloom. I don't think I've even used this on my channel. I had picked it up at Ulta one time. It was on sale. I had points. I think I ended up getting this for like 15 bucks, 10 bucks, something like that. And it was definitely worth that, but it's definitely worth the full price too, I feel. So just to give you like a little idea, for work every day, like when I do actually put some eyeshadow on, I've just been going in with these two shades mixed in the crease and under my lower lash line, and then I go and put this one all over the lid, and it makes I just look so much more awake, so much more put together, but it takes me like 2 seconds. So anyway, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and set down my concealer with this white shade. It is called Charmer. All right, so lid is set. And now I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade Smarty Pants into the crease. This is one of the ones I really enjoy using on an everyday basis, so we'll just dip into that. I'm probably gonna speed through most of this because this is not the focal point of the video. The video is obviously the trying on makeup, and none of my looks are overly complicated anyway, but if you want me to do a more in-depth tutorial with this palette, then definitely leave me a comment down below and I can do that for you. Alright, so here we are so far. Honestly, the one thing I really love about this palette too is it just is so easily blendable. It blends out really well. I just really, really like it. So really quick, I'm going to jump to the lower lash line and just add a little bit of that shade down there as well. Like I said, I'm not doing a super precise look, so we will take just a little bit of that Smarty Pants shade and we will go ahead and buff it into the lower lash line too. Alright, so we have lower lash line and the crease done. And I think I'm going to actually jump to a different palette here. I think I'm going to jump to my mini Jeffree Star palette. I don't want to say the name. And I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here. I absolutely die for this shade. It's called Bathhouse. I hope that's not dirty. I don't know if it is. Anyway, we'll take it on a flat brush and I'm just going to go ahead and put that all over the lid. Normally for tutorials, I try not to use multiple palettes, but since this is not an eyeshadow focused tutorial, I figure it's alright. As you can see, these like metallic shades just look so nice and reflective on the lid. I just really, really love them. So I'm pretty much done with that. I'm going to jump back into my Tarte palette, and I think what I'm going to do is take the shade, Activist, which is this one right here. Sorry, this palette is very reflective, so the light ends up shining off of it. But we'll take that shade, and I'm just going to add a little bit of it to the outer V. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to deepen this up too much, but just a little. think I accidentally went a little bit darker on this eye, so I'm just going to take my blending brush with no additional product and just kind of blend around the edge. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more of that shimmer shade on my finger and kind of blend the outer corner a little bit better. Alright, so I mean it's not perfect. I think I'll take a tiny bit of this shade right here just to go around the edges. It's very light, so it can help to clean it up. Alright, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do with the eyes. I do need to go ahead and add an inner corner and brow bone. So I think what I'll do is I will take this shade here, which it's not my favorite, but it's what's in front of me. So take a little bit of that. I mean, it does look kind of decent on the inner corner, so it's just not my favorite shade. And then what I'll do for the brow bone is go ahead and take this Charmer shade that I set everything down with in the beginning and just kind of add a little bit more of that to the brow bone. Alright, and then really quick I'm going to go ahead and add my pencil liner, and then I'll jump on to test out the last new product for this video, which is the Stila liquid liner. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I got my pencil liner on. Now we're going to try out the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner. I'm just going to do a tiny little baby wing. That's what I've been loving lately. It's what I feel comfortable with my skill set, which is not great when it comes to liquid liner. I've heard good things about this one, so I'm excited to give it a try. And I'm just going to go ahead and line my top lid with it and do the world's babiest wing. I like to stay very close to my lash line. I don't like my upper line to be too thick. Which is funny because back in high school, I used to just line my top lid and it was usually thicker, not that thick, but it was definitely thicker than what it is now. Alright, and then once I get to the outer edge, I'll do my tiny little baby wing. I pray this does not get screwed up. I don't know if you can really even see it, but she's there. She's there. She ain't perfect, but she's there. Now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. It's always so much harder to do the left eye. I always screw up somehow. Alright, baby wing. Semi-successful on both eyes. Now I'm going to jump off, do my mascara, lips, and all that, and then we will just wrap up my thoughts on all of these new products. Alright guys, so this is the finished look using so many new products today. I really enjoyed trying out some new stuff, and I'm actually pretty happy with how everything worked. So let me just show you a little close-up of the face. Overall, I feel like my skin looks pretty good. Everything is evened out. Nothing really looks too heavy. I don't even feel like I have a lot of product on. And I almost wonder too, if using liquid products for your highlight and your bronzer, if that helps with the feeling of heaviness on the skin. You know, the more powder products you have, maybe the heavier it feels. I don't know. But I really enjoyed using these products. I feel like my skin just looks really nice. I mean, I don't think that I have some intense major glow, so I don't know how much of this really made a huge difference. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Do you notice my skin being a little bit more glowy than some of my other videos? So I'm definitely curious as to hear your thoughts. So basically, as of right this moment, you know, I don't really have anything negative to say about any of these products. So, I'm sorry, my hair does not like to cooperate. As of now, I really don't have anything negative to say about anything. I do want to play around with these things more, use them kind of on their own or use them in conjunction with some of my other tried and true products, just to see, you know, to make sure that I truly do love these things. And I definitely will be doing a follow-up video. I try to usually do like Sephora follow-ups if I ever have like new makeup products. So definitely hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that in the future. And let me know, what do you think was the best product out of this video? So far, I really have to say I do like the cream contour. I definitely probably need to practice with it a little bit more. But I do think going directly, like putting the product on the sponge and then dabbing it out, was a little bit easier. But I still feel like it turned out fine even with me putting it right on the skin. But I do think you maybe have a little bit more control when you put it on the sponge first, and you can kind of blend it out easier than if you were to go on with a bunch on your face. Then you're like scrambling to try to blend it. So anyway, I also really like that Stila liner. I feel like it's very black. It went on super easy. And I'm actually pretty impressed with the Rare Beauty pencil so far too. I feel like it was really easy to use. My brows don't look insane. So like I said, I'm definitely going to be trying out these products more to kind of get a feel for how I truly feel about them. And maybe some of these are going to become like all-time holy grails. We will have to see down the road. Anyway, that pretty much sums up this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you go. And if you turn on the notification bell, then you will be notified every single time that I upload, so you won't miss any of my future videos. So that is it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.